All men by nature are equal in that equal right that every man hath to his natural freedom, without being subjected to the will or authority of any other man, being all equal and independent. No one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty or possessions. What worries you, masters you. I have no reason to suppose that he, who would take away my liberty, would not, when he had me in his power, take away everything else. Whenever legislators endeavor to take away and destroy the property of the people, or to reduce them to slavery under arbitrary power, they put themselves into a state of war with the people, who are thereupon absolved from any further obedience. The most precious of all possessions is power over ourselves. Who lies for you, will lie against you. Is it worth the name of freedom to be at liberty to play the fool? Any single man must judge for himself whether circumstances warrant obedience or resistance to the commands of the civil magistrate. We are all qualified, entitled, and morally obliged to evaluate the conduct of our rulers. This political judgment, moreover, is not simply or primarily a right, but like self-preservation, a duty to God. As such, it is a judgment that men cannot part with according to the God of nature. It is the first and foremost of our inalienable rights, without which we can preserve no other. Don't let the things you don't have prevent you from using what you do have. Good and evil, reward and punishment, are the only motives to a rational creature. The end of law is not to abolish or restrain, but to preserve and enlarge freedom. For in all the states of created beings capable of law, where there is no law, there is no freedom. With books we stand on the shoulders of giants. The people cannot delegate to government the power to do anything which would be unlawful for them to do themselves. Our incomes are like our shoes. If too small, they gall and pinch us, but if too large, they cause us to stumble and to trip. Government has no other end but the preservation of property. The Bible is one of the greatest blessings bestowed by God on the children of men. It has God for its author, salvation for its end, and truth without any mixture for its matter. It is all pure. It is one thing to persuade, another to command, one thing to press with arguments, another with penalties. Whoever uses force without right, puts himself into a state of war with those against whom he uses it, and in that state all former ties are cancelled, all other rights cease, and everyone has a right to defend himself, and to resist the aggressor. Individuals have a right to defend themselves and recover by force what by unlawful force is taken from them. Logic is the anatomy of thought. Things of this world are in so constant a flux, that nothing remains long in the same state. The discipline of desire is the background of character. There is frequently more to be learned from the unexpected questions of a child than the discourses of men. New opinions are always suspected, and usually opposed, without any other reason but because they are not already common. Every man has a property in his own person. This nobody has a right to, but himself.